So we've gotten pulled over. We're not sure why. They've asked Curt to get out, and he's opened up the back door. A second police officer is pulled up. So they're still bothering us quite a bit. Can't quite tell if they're trying to do a shakedown for a bribe or not. They have a copy of our title, a copy of our registration. I think they have Curt's driver's license, so he's not letting them get too far away with that. Something about, they said he was talking on the phone, which he wasn't. I was holding my phone because of the GPS to get us to Home Depot. But he definitely wasn't on his phone, and something about the license plate can't be covered, and we have plastic covers over them, so I think we're gonna have to take those off. Can't quite tell what's going on yet, guys. We'll be back in a minute.
So that was the first attempt where they were trying to get a bribe from me, and I kept asking them if there was a translator at the police station, could they take me there? And they were going to charge 2,000 pesos for the license plate infractions because we have a cover on, and it's a rule because they have cameras that read your license plates, I guess, for stoplight infractions here. So apparently the cameras can't read it. So he was saying it was a 2,000 peso infraction, but I couldn't understand him even in the translation, so I kept telling him take me to the police station. He said if he takes me to the police station, they're going to charge 2,000. He wanted me to offer him a bribe. I would not do it. I kept saying take the police station, and so I think he's letting us go. So we can go.
There we go. We're going. Curt is closing the slider door. The kiddies are ready for a day of driving. We are on the road, and here's the news. We are leaving the state of Chiapas. We're headed north.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase, I'm wide awake. Take me away now.
So, to all our house-dwelling friends, you know when you get ready to go on vacation, you gotta pack your suitcases, go through everything, get it in the car, get to the airport, all that stuff. Yeah, no, we just get in the driver's seat and go. We're going.
Making me crazy. So, I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
Back on the Gulf Coast. And so when you're on the Gulf Coast, what are you gonna do? You gotta eat some shrimp. Look at the size of these shrimp. They're huge. And the coconut on them right here is from the coconut trees. And then everything's better with bacon. So I got these rainbow shrimp. So Snow and I are about to feast. Getting sent on our way from the police stop was a massive sigh of relief. Parked at Freedom Shores in Campeche, it was a quiet and peaceful beach, a world away from the chaos. But around the globe, COVID was becoming deeply political, and we didn't want any part of that. We were foreign travelers and guests in another country. We'd heard horror stories of people trying to fight local regulations and getting in serious trouble. And the absolute last thing we wanted was to end up in a Mexican jail. In many regions we passed through, mask mandates were strictly enforced. The larger stores and local markets all had heavy security at the doors with rigid no mask, no entry policies. The pandemic was a dark shroud, and crowded cities were suffering from massive outbreaks. Staying in the urban Airbnbs felt like a total trap. The van was our fortress, our only true sanctuary.
But leaving the cities behind meant our minds immediately shifted to other heavy worries. Our Mexican visa extension was rapidly getting ready to expire, and the highway to Guatemala ahead was still completely closed. Moving farther east meant realizing that once we finally cross out of this country, we are fully pushing onward with our global journey, with no easy way back. We didn't want to just sit still in fear. We decided to keep moving, completely unaware that this anxious detour was about to hand us the most unbelievable experiences of our lives.
And they'll take us around on these things, all these different cenotes. So there are about 30 or 40 different cenotes just in this little town right here. And so similar to what we saw here, they're in people's yards and stuff like that. And so you pay 250 pesos a day just to go out on the wagon. And then at each cenote you visit, it's 50 pesos per person, or 100 pesos for both snow and I. And so we're gonna go bouncing through these cenotes, and all these different little cenotes have their own little personality. Some of them are open to the sun, and some of them are like little caves or grottos. And so we're gonna go cenote exploring. It feels nice out here. I mean, you get in that cenote and it's just so relaxing. The water cools you down, and then you get out here and you have the sun and the breeze. It just feels really good and relaxing. It's very therapeutic, fun day. Oh, that last cenote was completely different than the first two. So the third one was more of a spiritual experience. But you had to go into this, and this is a Mayan cave, and so we had a Mayan guide lead us into there. But you had to kind of go up under the water to get into this little area. You could barely get your head above the water in the cave, and then you had to dive down again and go underwater through about a 5-foot tunnel, and then it opened up into the cave. And so there was stalactites, and it opened up into a little area where you could sit. But the idea behind it was really just to sit there and calm your mind, calm your brain, and just breathe and listen to the silence and let the water just pull the stress out of you. And I gotta tell you, it was a very relaxing, very peaceful place. And so I was thankful that he kind of gave me the background of the Mayan history of the place. But this place was a very spiritual place for their culture. And so it was really cool, but different. So hopefully the video came out. Wow.
It's almost embarrassing to say this, but while the rest of the world was in an absolute panic, We were sitting here experiencing one breathtaking milestone after another. We found places untouched by the chaos, secret rivers and completely isolated camps where we were the only souls for miles.
Just look at this place, guys. No crowds, no people. We're just out here in the raw nature. If we'd stayed locked up in a room somewhere, waiting for the world to fix itself, we would have missed the true heart of this country. Feels like we're the only ones out here.
Oh, wow. Mangrove channel. Nobody keeps on the red mangrove is the color of the water.
The tannins. Look at this magical place, guys. So we're in the main river, and all of a sudden he just starts heading really fast right towards the trees.
Scared us.
And all of a sudden this little opening just opens up, and we're back in this tunnel, this little hidden river in the mangroves. And I gotta tell you, this place is magical. Look at it. It's so cool. So the water is kind of a red color, and the tint is from the hue of the mangrove. So it's the tannins from the mangrove trees. Oh, so cool.
That was so funny how you did that.
That was awesome, amigo.
Kingfisher pygmy.
A pygmy kingfisher bird.
We're headed to our campsite tonight, which is at a pretty cool location all by itself. But along the way, we are going to stop at two pretty cool places. The first one is supposed to be a pretty cool city that we're going to show you, a smaller city, maybe like a village. We're going to stop there and see what we can find. But then after that, we drive about another hour down the road, and we're taking you guys to a very famous place today. The van wasn't just a home anymore. It was also our survival capsule. Every night, as the anxiety of our expiring visa would creep back into the cabin, we'd look at our charts and realize our time in this beautiful country was drawing to an inevitable close.
Back then, the world was in total chaos. The Guatemala border was locked tight, and everywhere you looked, people were arguing. Some wanted total lockdowns, some just said wear a mask. Others claimed the whole thing was a farce. The President of the United States of America was on TV suggesting we might want to inject bleach to cleanse ourselves. It was wild. But for the two of us and our two cats, the van was our sanctuary. Being out in the nature gave us an incredible separation from all the noise. We were just laughing, having fun, and exploring the Yucatán Peninsula, and becoming beautiful places
completely to ourselves. But our peace and quiet had an expiration date. Our Mexican visa extension was running out. Our next destination was Guatemala, and those borders were still firmly closed. We were officially running out of options.
I have a feeling we're about to get swarmed by tour guides.
We'll see.
Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. You know, what was it to get into Palenque? Like 50 pesos or
Which is
$2.50.
$2.50.
Here it's 500 pesos a piece, 1,000 pesos.
That's $50, guys.
Yeah,
$50.
pricey. Hello and welcome to the Yucatan.
Yeah.
And you walk right up to this. Look at that.
Paying $50 just to walk through the gates was a swift reality check. While the rest of the planet was locked down, this region of Mexico, from Cancun down through Playa del Carmen and Tulum, never truly shut its doors. With nowhere else to go, travelers were flocking to the turquoise beaches by the thousands, and Chichén Itzá was an ultimate day trip for the crowds. As we entered the ancient city ruins, we were seeing crowds of guides and tourists, and it felt like a total shift in the air. Yet there was plenty of space to spread out and explore this massive Chichén Itzá and its exotic setting, and we were completely fascinated by the local artisans like Noah. The sheer scale of the pyramid was unforgettable. We definitely had to change our tune on that. But as the ruins faded in our rearview mirror, a new rhythm took over. We were being magnetically pulled toward the turquoise Caribbean waters of the Gulf of Mexico, moving us closer and closer to a border we could only hope would soon open.
Now that's a wrap on this adventure. But if you loved joining us, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell too. That way you're always the very first to know exactly when our next video drops. And for all the updates between videos, come follow us over on Facebook and Instagram.